Injuries continue to happen in the NFL, and this time the Saints are getting hit with the injury bug. This time, rookie wide receiver Jordyn Tyson has been ruled out, at least for the moment, for at least 2 months. We're going to talk about the impact of that for the New Orleans Saints. And then Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, has came out and stated that he wants the NFL to have some teams with an S outside of the U.S. We got to talk about that because where the team's going to be. And then in today's show, we're going to talk about Za'Darius Smith signing with the Falcons and Keenan Allen signing with the Colts. But before we talk about it and break it all down, y'all already know you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. Go ahead and ensure that you are supporting the channel the easiest way possible by simply hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel. It don't matter what team you root for. This is a place where people who love football can come and talk football. So tune in. Steve-O, what's the word?
What's good? What's good?
Hey, man, we got some things to talk about on today's episode, man. First thing first, the Saints lose wide receiver Jordyn Tyson for 2 months with the hammy. How you feeling about the Saints losing a guy who was really performing well during training camp to a hamstring injury?
Suck, because, bro, I don't know if you was. I've been, me personally, I've been really looking into the whole, I would say, training camp when it comes to the entire Saints from offense to defense. And he was one of the first people that been catching my eye. Dude gets so much separation off his routes that him and Chris Olave start off the season was going to be a really dynamic and dangerous duo. You got speed and deception. That's why I was going to call their ass speed and deception, because that's the type. And then, bringing in Travis Etienne, you still got Kamara on the list as well. I felt like the Saints could have used this year, especially the start off, to make it known, like, yeah, we ain't nothing to play with. We could be a threat in this division. And to my other videos credit, I feel like everybody outside of one team has credit to say we could be that person to come out of the division. They are one of them. So yeah, it's something you don't want to hear, especially with a wide receiver that and at its position where you really, 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 really need your hamstrings. All the stop goes, cuts, dead legs, like all the things you need your hamstrings. So like this probably gonna be an injury he's battling all year. So like you've been saying, like C-Dub say, he a young boy, so hopefully he got that Wolverine in him and he could just rejuvenate and he can go as the season go. But it's just something you don't want to hear. I mean, it ain't the worst injury in the world or devastating, but quite frankly, a hamstring can be devastating if you don't properly take care of it.
For sure. We always talk about the best way to deal with them leg injuries. Just sit down. Groin injuries, quads, hammies. You just got to sit down and allow it to rest. The biggest thing I know with Jordyn Tyson is that there were some injury concerns coming out of college, just a little bit for him. And this one right here sucks because he was really, really outstanding so far, at least from what the reports have been suggesting out of training camp. So the loss of Jordyn Tyson definitely is going to be something, that probably hits the Saints a little bit. But I will credit them this. Tyler Shook looked pretty damn well. You got yourself a good addition in ETN over the course of the offseason. Chris Olave can ball out. So, and I think, man, I like Kellen Moore as a head coach. I know it's some people say the last few games of the season doesn't really matter for certain teams, but I would disagree because unlike some other sports, these contracts are not guaranteed. So guys are still going to come out there and put good film out there for the masses, just in case they might not return to the team that they were currently on at that time. They could still get picked up by somebody else that might need their services. So while it was the end of the season for the New Orleans Saints, I still think that they played some really, really good games down the stretch, and they were looking to build off of that. And I still think Kellen Moore can, you know what I'm saying, help engineer some wins early in the season. Obviously, the Saints are gonna, well, he's gonna be done for the Saints next two preseason games. There's a week after that last preseason game, and then you're gonna go against Detroit, Baltimore, Vegas, and Atlanta. So that's 4 weeks throughout the season, and 4 weeks before that. 4 week total of 2 months exactly for that Atlanta game. I don't know if they bring them back then though, because I imagine it will be a
Yeah,
ramp up period, but we'll see.
yeah, you definitely got to do that.
How you feeling about that early slate of teams that they got to face in weeks 1 through 4? Detroit, Baltimore, Vegas, and Atlanta.
The first two teams definitely a test because I will say that as of right now they're a better team just on paper and mainly based on what I've seen previous. Um, there's gonna be a test on both sides. Like offensively, I don't really have too many questions. I feel like offensively, this is the year they click. I think Kellen Moore is one of the best offensive minds in the game right now, and honestly, he's gonna show that this year. And he started to show it, especially towards the end of last year, as they was putting up numbers against a lot of teams. So I think they're going to be able to stay within the games, but I don't know if they necessarily going to win. It's up to that defense if they're gonna show up. And the defense got some pieces. Like you got the resurgence of a Chase Young and others on the squad. But you also didn't they get Buddy from Tampa Bay? I'm not Tampa Detroit. Or did he go? No, he went to Tampa Bay. I'm thinking of
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like they got some things to work with. Defense still a little bit old in my opinion, so that's the probably the con of everything. But first few games, I feel like they gonna be the teams that they can hang in there, but I don't know if they necessarily will win. Atlanta, I think is beatable as of right now.
Agreed. Because there's so many questions with two the flats tour. I ain't gonna don't get me started on him.
Hashtag to the flats tour.
But I think that first 4 games is definitely some one that's gonna be watched closely because we know that the first few weeks of the season doesn't necessarily determine the outcome of the season. You know what I'm saying? Because as a Bears fan, I watched my team start 4-2, and then the whole collapse happened. Or like when, you know what I'm saying, the Chicago Bears relinquished a lead in the week 1 last year, and there was a crash out from a lot of Bears fans. So I understand it totally. But we go see, we're gonna be monitoring these guys. They in a competitive division to where anybody can literally win that division, and what it seems like right now with so many questions with all the other teams. So prayers up for Jordyn Tyson, man. We're gonna see what he gonna be able to provide the Saints, but they still got their number one in Chris Olave, so that should be good news for them as we move forward, bro.
For sure, for sure. We shall see. Like I said, I still think it's gonna be interesting. But hopefully they can buy him some time, and hopefully the injury is not as that bad.
For sure, absolutely. And then we're gonna definitely be monitoring them with this defense and everything that they're gonna be able to provide. Let's see what Kellen Moore cook up. Let's see what he cooks up. But hey, man, y'all let us know your thoughts on Jordyn Tyson and what the loss means for the New Orleans Saints. Drop those comments down below. We're gonna keep this thing pushing, talking about the NFL looking to add teams outside the USA. Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, pretty much was asked, do you see any teams, coming in the future, maybe outside or internationally? He said, without a doubt. And I'm just paraphrasing. Roger Goodell said, without a doubt. Steve-O, my biggest question is, where are you putting these teams to where they can have travel hours or travel mileage that makes sense for a team that plays in the United States? But I'll elaborate after this. But how you feeling about Roger Goodell saying that he wants teams with an S outside of the USA?
Um, I mean, I'm not. That's not a shocking thing to hear because growth is what any business or any conglomerate wants, and I'm not shocked about it. You want to build up your global anything, whether it's you the NBA, MLB, MLS, whatever it is. You want to get eyes on you abroad of every place. So it's not crazy for him to say. Now how he's going to do it is going to be tough. Now I can 100% be on board and understand and see us getting a team, maybe two, and that's what all I can see us getting outside of the country. Because quite frankly, like, yes, I do think our football in America can be big. Stupid ass net. It could be big outside in certain markets, and that's the key thing. It depends on what market you're trying to go to. Now, I think they're trying to focus more in Europe because, as you know, well, I think you just starting to find out the motherfucking fans in Europe is crazy when
Ain't
they
they?
they crazy, and I know them from a different facets from soccer, wrestling. Like the crowd atmosphere is just different, and they loyal and they show up. So I 100% see why, because if you put a team somewhere in like Germany, them motherfuckers gonna be there. They gonna be at the pulps drinking. They gonna make a whole day about
Out
you.
the
I'm telling
boots.
for real, because that's what they do over there. Like on soccer day, it's soccer day. Everybody out there, everybody's there watching the game of some sort for the most part. So if that's my whole thing. Where you looking at? Where's your market? I can only really realistically see it somewhere either in Europe, like Germany or something, the UK maybe, Mexico. That's about it. Like once you start, like maybe Canada, maybe, but like outside of that, like I don't think we're gonna go to no damn Japan or Nigeria with the shit. Like I don't think we're gonna do all that.
I agree with you on most of that. My only question is if they do put a team in Europe, or let's say two teams in Europe, how is that gonna be? Like, yeah,
The
bro,
schedule's gonna be
those are
annoying.
not short flights. Those are
Yeah,
not short flights. What we doing? Loading up PJs for everybody? like, like that's crazy work. Realistically, the only thing, or the only place I could see the NFL incorporating themselves, quote unquote, internationally, that makes sense for the teams in the US, the 32 teams in the US, is if you load up two spots in Canada or split one in Canada and Mexico. Now,
that can work.
the Canada already has a Canadian Football League. Steve-O, they have 9 teams split into two groups, the East Division and the West Division. You got some locations to where they're in Vancouver, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, just to name a
Winnipeg,
few.
Manitoba.
You know what I'm saying? So though that, to me, the area that makes the most sense is Canada, because they already have,
A
especially in
league.
Toronto, you already have a NBA franchise there. Why not add a football franchise there? Now Montreal, I believe they do have a NHL team,
Mhm.
so maybe that's another option. But I don't know. This seems like a difficult task. I know there was a few years ago, there's always this discussion about the Jaguars because how often they play in London. So I
Yeah.
get it that this is what y'all want to do, but I gotta imagine that there has to be a lot of discussion going into trying to have teams outside of the US.
For sure. I feel that. That's the only thing. Like they gotta have a plan in place for the travel, because travel means something. It really does. Like it does things to your body. It does things to you mentally, and they can, depending on the scenario, one team can have an advantage. We already know some advantages we already have within America, like going to Denver or going anywhere in New Mexico or stuff like that. The altitude is different. Going to Colorado and such. Um, yeah, so you just gotta have a plan. If you have a plan and it's a plan that we can see through it, I'm with it. But like you said, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. And where you put it gotta make sense. And I will agree with you. The most sense right now would be Canada and Mexico because they right
On the
there.
real. Cause what the hell is a team in Florida gonna do if they gotta travel all the way to London? Or a team in the state of Washington gotta fly all the way to Germany. Like what? Now, Steve-O, just for context, the NFL, they have some international games this upcoming season. They have a game in Australia, they have a game in Brazil, they have 3 games in London, they have a game in Paris, they have a game in Madrid, Germany, and one close neighbor in Mexico City. So yeah, yeah, it seems like it's wishful thinking, at least for right now. But we know the NFL, they know that they the number one sport in the world, so they gonna do everything possible to try to make something shake if they elect to expand to at least 34 teams. Because I would imagine that's what it will be, just adding 2 more teams. It's
Mhm.
already a long ass season with a lot of games to watch every single week. So yeah. Yeah. Is it you already got the Rams and the 49ers complaining about playing in Australia in week 1? and that has the season starting on a Wednesday, Steve-O.
Well, they complaining because they ass got to go all the way from Cali to the motherfucker. Well, which is it's a it's a real thing to complain about. So I get it. So, like I said, have a plan. You can make it work. If you don't make it, if you don't have a plan, I think it's just gonna be a dream. And your
Facts.
name ain't Martin.
This man. But hey, man, let's go ahead and jump into the two last states that we have to discuss today. The Atlanta Falcons went out there and signed veteran pass rusher Za'Darius Smith, and he signed it for a 1-year contract. This comes after the Falcons. They're going to lose Jalen Walker the entire season and James Pierce Jr. For 8 games this upcoming season. Steve, how you feeling about Za'Darius Smith going to Atlanta, coming out of retirement to do it as well?
It's a good placeholder for the dummy that's gonna miss 8 games. So I think he's the perfect guy that can hold down the fort. Still, he's still good at talented and young enough to get pressure and just to be a factor. I don't like I said, it's nothing that's gonna shift the whole defensive line, I per se, but he's a good placement holder. And to just like you still got a pretty young defense, so you need some more knowledge on that on that D line and that defense in general. So I like the move. You don't spend that much money, and it fills a hole for the time being. Put a stick of bubble gum on it. On my mama.
No, the real. They put some duct tape and bubble gum on that one, and they're gonna see what happens. Obviously, we know James Pierce Jr. is gonna be coming back after that 8-game suspension, but this is definitely something that can help you, have that place to have a pass rusher come in and at least help you until that time comes. And then once James Pierce returns, now you have a little bit more something to work with. So I like that they went out there and picked them up. I think this is something that's going to be able to work for them and hold them off a little bit. They still have some other guys like Billy Bowman Jr. And then you have Jesse White over there as well, which are 2 good defensive backs. So it's not like they're lacking, in that area. I think they have some good parts on the back end. Obviously, the front end is where a lot of people are going to be gauging them at. But I think they got bigger issues. I think the Atlanta Hawks got bigger issues than to worry about the pass rush. Y'all need to get this quarterback situation in order. For real.
ASAP.
Sure. And we also received news, Steve-O, that Keenan Allen signed with the Indianapolis Colts. And to me, that's a really good pickup, Steve-O, and this is why. They pick up Keenan Allen on a 1-year deal, not close to what Michael Pittman was going to be making. And Keenan Allen had similar stats. Keenan Allen, 81 receptions. Michael Pittman, 80 receptions. Keenan Allen, 777 yards. Michael Pittman, 784 yards. Keenan Allen, 4 touchdowns. Michael Pittman, 7 touchdowns. It's really damn comparable, and you cut the cost. How you feeling about Keenan Allen going to the Indianapolis Colts?
I like it. I like the move as soon as I seen it because, like I said, it's a cheap option, and you're getting similar results at the end of the day. I can't get mad at it, bro. Like, I don't know about you, but I like parity at my X and Z because you got your big body over there at your X, and then you got your guy that you can be versatile with. As we know, Keenan can get on the slot and do damage as well. So I think he gonna eat. Like, he eats wherever he goes for the most part. So if he could continue to give you just similar production that he's been giving you the last few years, he should be a valuable weapon. I don't think he's just a piece. I think he could be an actual weapon for this team.
I agree with you.
The main weapon is the run game anyway.
Exactly. They're gonna lead on that run game heavily. And then the Indianapolis Colts players, they always raving about Shane Steichen play calling. We talked about Shane Steichen being on a hot seat, but one thing we can't deny the Indianapolis head coach Shane Steichen is that he can definitely scheme some things open for offense. So that's one thing we're gonna be watching closely. That AFC South division is a monster because you got them Texans, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think that while Cam Ward had a bad preseason start in game 1, I think they're gonna improve. How much will they improve? We shall see, though. And the Indianapolis Colts gonna be right there. Say something.
For real.
They talented as hell over there in Indy now. They talented.
They sneaky talented.
On the real.
It's all about the coaching. Can the quarterback stay up? And if that defense can close games.
Agreed. Very, very simple, man. But hey, we just received some news that the New York Giants just signed Najee Harris. How you feeling about that? They probably seen Tyrone Tracy blow that block.
Yeah. Uh,
Blow
I
that
mean,
block and got that quarterback killed.
adding bodies to the running back position ain't never bad. But I don't like it's just insurance because you got two knuckleheads at your running back. So you got two knuckleheads at the running back, one susceptible to possibly getting injured with a concussion. So you just want to bring in another big body that can hold it down the fort as much as possible.
I agree with that. It ain't none that, you know what I'm saying, that's too crazy, but the New York Giants picking up Najee Harris. It's cool. It's cool. Add to it. I think we got bigger fish to fry with the New York Giants, bro. For real. But hey, man, that is it from us today. Steve-O, you got anything left, bro?
That's it.
Hey, man, that is it from us today. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Before you get up out of here, leave your feedback, comments, concerns down in the comment box down below. Let's go ahead and chop it up about the topics that we discussed today. How y'all feeling about everything, man? We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always love football. Hit that like button and subscribe. Y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has